So today we will discuss the module 3, the bandwidth utilization, switching and the error detection. So in this module 3 there are totally 3 topics. The first one is the bandwidth utilization, second is the switching, and third one is the error detection. Okay. So first we will discuss the bandwidth utilization. So it is a sixth chapter. So in the bandwidth utilization there is a two technique we have to use to efficiently use the bandwidth. The first one is a multiplexing and second one is a spreading technique. So before going to the multiplexing and the spreading technique, we need to know the why we have to what is a bandwidth utilization. Okay. So here bandwidth utilization is the wise use of available bandwidth to achieve the specific goals. Means whenever the bandwidth of the link is greater than the uh, bandwidth needed for the devices which are connected through the link. At that time what happens, the bandwidth is simply wasted. Okay. So to efficiently utilize those bandwidth, we have to share the bandwidth of the link between the multiple user. Okay. How we can share the bandwidth of the link? By using the two technique that is already I told, that is a multiplexing technique and the spreading technique. Okay. So first we will discuss the multiplexing technique. So multiplexing is nothing but the bandwidth of the medium linking two devices is greater than the bandwidth needs of the devices, as already I told that. Okay. Available bandwidth is greater than the needed bandwidth of the devices. Okay. Then we have to use this multiplexing technique. Okay. So in this how we can make the efficient use of the bandwidth. So the transmission of multiple signals across the single data link. Okay. Means here the multiple signal share the bandwidth of the link. Okay. So through that sharing we can efficiently use the bandwidth of the link. Okay. So there is a three different technique we have to use in the multiplexing technique. Multiplexing. Okay. To efficiently use the bandwidth. The first one is the frequency division multiplexing, second one is the wavelength division multiplexing, and third one is the time division multiplexing. In the time division there is a two techniques, one is the synchronous time division multiplexing and second one is the statistical time division multiplexing. Okay. So before going those these technique, so we will discuss some basic concept of the multiplexing and the demultiplexing. Okay. So here this is a diagram of multiplexing and the demultiplexing. Okay. So in the multiplexing what happen, it will combine say an input lines into the one link. Okay. And demultiplex, it will separates the single link into the multiple output lines. Okay. So that's they are mentioned. Multiplexer is the combines the n input into the single stream. Demultiplexer separates that single stream into the n output streams. Okay. And here link is nothing but what? It is a one physical path between the two devices. Okay. And channel is nothing but it is a portion of the link. Okay. So there is a many portions are present. Okay. There is a one portion, second portion. So within that particular link there is a portions of the links are present. So each portion we have to call as a channel. Okay. So the one link can have a many channels. Okay. Each link, the particular link has a contains a particular link has divided into the many channels. Okay. So that's why they are given the one link have the many channels. Okay. So this is the what basic concept of the multiplexing and the demultiplexing. Okay. So next we will discuss So next we will discuss the categories of the multiplexing. Okay. There is a three categories of the multiplexing. The first one is the frequency division multiplexing, second one is the wavelength division multiplexing, and third one is the time division multiplexing. Okay. In the frequency division multiplexing we are perform on the analog signals, and wavelength division multiplexing also perform on the analog signals, and time division multiplexing we need to perform on the digital signals. Okay. So first we will discuss the frequency division multiplexing. So frequency division multiplexing in the short form we have to call as a FDM, frequency division multiplexing. So is an analog multiplexing technique that combines the analog signals. Okay. The analog signals which come from the each device. Okay. So that will be combined in the one link. okay, through the frequency division multiplexing. Okay, so as the input lines or the coming from the each device, okay, so that will be combined into the one link. Okay, so each input line has a specific channel, or the each input lines has a specific bandwidth or the channels are same. So each channel or the specific bandwidth you have to assign to the each input lines. Okay, that will be combined into the one particular link. Okay, so that what we have to call as a multiplexing or the frequency division multiplexing. Okay, so here the FDM can be used when bandwidth of the link is greater than the combined bandwidth of the signal to be transmitted, as already we discussed. Okay, the bandwidth of the link is greater than whenever the bandwidth of the signal to be transmitted. Okay, at that time the particular bandwidth has been wasted. So that's time we have to use the frequency division multiplexing. Okay, signal can be generated by each sending device. Okay, the signal can be generated by each sending device that can be modulated at a different carrier frequency. Okay, so means here the signal can be generated. There is a three signals, baseband analog signals. Okay, so these signals are generated from the input devices. Okay, so that can be modulated at different frequency. F1 has a different carrier frequency, F2 has a different carrier frequency, and F3 has a different carrier. So we need to modulate it to the different carrier frequency, and we will get the output as a different shaped analog signals. Okay, and after that modulated signals are combined into the one single composite signal that can be transmitted over the link. Okay, so here all these modulated signals we need to combine into the one composite signal. So that plus as indicates here combining that will create the composite signal as a output. Okay, and after that carrier frequency is separated by the sufficient bandwidth to accommodate the modulated signals. Okay, so bandwidth is nothing but it is a frequency range. Okay, so carrier frequency is separated by the sufficient bandwidth. Okay, so each bandwidth has a frequency range. Okay, so to accommodate the modulated signal. Okay, and last one is a channel can be separated by the strips of unused bandwidth called a guard bands to prevent the signal from the overlapping. Okay, so as already I told that. Okay, so guard bands, what is the purpose of using? So some unused bandwidth is allocated for the guard bands. So by using those guard bands we need to prevent the overlapping of the overlapping of the channels or the signals. Okay, that's for purpose we have to use the guard bands. Okay, so this is a representation of frequency division multiplexing as we discussed. Okay, and next this is the multiplexing process. As I told, each source generates the signals of the similar frequency. Okay, and after that inside the multiplexer these similar signals are modulated different carrier frequency. The signals, by using these carrier frequencies we need to modulate each signals coming from the each devices. Okay, so it has a different frequency. One is a F1 and another is a F2 frequency, another is a F3 frequency. Okay, the resulting modulated signals then combine into the single composite signal, and that can be sent over the media. Okay, so that's why we need to, whatever the modulated signals is there, that we need to combine into the one composite signal, and that can be sent over the media. Okay, this is the FDM multiplexing process. Okay, and next one is a demultiplexing process. Okay, so in the demultiplexing process what happens, we have to use the filters. That is, the filters are used to decompose the multiple signals into the constituent component signals. Okay, so that whatever the composite signal is there, that we need to pass through the filters. Okay, the filter will extract the modulated signals from that composite signal. Okay, then after that these signals are passed through the demodulator that separates them from the carrier frequency and pass them to the output lines. Okay, then these three modulated signals we need to pass through the demodulator. Okay, then demodulator will extract the carrier frequency from the each signal, and that signal will be sent to the output lines, that is a original signal. Okay, that what we have to call as a demultiplexing. So filter is nothing but here what it will extract the modulated signal, individual modulated signal from the composite signal. Okay, so that is our difference. Okay, and so they are given one note here. FDF is a analog multiplexing tech that combines the analog signals. It uses the concept of it. Okay, as discussed in the chapter 5. Okay, this is a note we need to means in the FDM we need is a multiplexing technique. It combines the analog signals. Okay, these are the some example they have given. Okay, assume that Y channels has occupied the bandwidth of 4 kilohertz. Okay, 4 kilohertz is the bandwidth of, assume that channel as occupies the bandwidth of the 4 kilohertz Y channel. Okay, so here what are the Y's which will coming from the each telephone that has a bandwidth 0 to 4 means it's the frequency range, means nothing but that it's the bandwidth, that is a 4 hertz is the bandwidth. Okay, after that we need to combine 3 Y channel into the link with the bandwidth of the 12 kilohertz. Okay, from 20 to 32 and show the configuration using the frequency domain. Assume there is a no guard bands are present. Okay, so solution here is we shift the each of the 3 Y channel to the different bandwidth. Okay, so by using the modulator, okay, we need to shift the each Y signal into the different frequency range. Okay, they already given the frequency range from 20 to the 32. Okay, so we need to shift those. Okay, so here the first channel has a 20, we use the 20 to 24 hertz for the first Y channel. Okay, there is a 20 to 24 for the first Y channel by using the modulator. Okay, and for the second channel we have to use the 24 to 28 kilohertz frequency range or the bandwidth for the second Y channel. Okay, and third one is a 20 to 32 bandwidth for the third Y channel. Okay, so after the modulating we will get the different frequency range. Okay, and after that we need to combine those. Okay, after combining that will create the composite Y channel. Okay, that has the frequency from 20 to the 32 because it is the first frequency, initial frequency is the 32 and last one is the 20. Initial frequency is the 20 here. Okay, the initial frequency here is the 20 and the last one is the 32. So that's why once we combine those signals we will get the frequency range as from the 20 to the 32. Okay, so same thing as we need to demultiplex, we need to first pass through the bandwidth filter, we need to extract the modulated signal, and those modulated signal we need to demodulate and we will get the original signal which has a bandwidth 4 hertz. Okay, so that is a what the problem is here. Okay, means we need to configure the using the frequency domain. Okay, so this is the first example. And there is they have given the another example here. There is a totally 5 channels, each with the bandwidth 100 kilohertz. Okay, there is a 5 channels. This is the one channel, second, third, and fourth, and fifth. There is a totally 5 channels, and each channel has a bandwidth has a 100 kilohertz. Okay, what is the minimum bandwidth of the link if there is a need for the guard band of the 10 kilohertz? Okay. So if you assign the guard band for those channels as a guard band of a 10 kilohertz, then what is the minimum bandwidth? Okay, if you assign the 10 kilohertz for the guard band between each channel, okay, between each channel, okay, between each channel, if you assign the guard bands, okay, then they are asked that what is the minimum bandwidth requirement. Okay, so here there is a how many total channels are there here? 5 total channels. Okay, the 5 total channels are there. Each channel has a 100 kilohertz. There is a 5 into 100, that is a 500 hertz. Plus there is a 10 kilohertz we have to using for the each guard band. Okay, so here 10 kilohertz we have to using how many guard bands are there here? Okay, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, totally 4 guard bands are there. Okay, So that is a 10 into 4, okay, 500 plus 40, there is a totally 540 kilohertz minimum bandwidth requirement, okay. So that is a what this is a problem, okay. So next we'll discuss the another problem, okay. There is a there is a totally 4 data channels are there, each has a transmitting the 1 mbps, use the satellite channels of the 1 megahertz, okay. 4 data channels, each has a 1 mbps, and the final after the multiplexing we will get the bandwidth of the channel as a 1 megahertz, okay. So you can see in the diagram here, okay. So here each channel connection has a 1 mbps bandwidth, okay. After the multiplexing we will get the 1 megahertz, okay. So that 1 megahertz, and they are designed appropriate using the FDM, okay. So here we need to determine the what is a bandwidth after the modulation, okay. What is the bandwidth after the modulation, okay. So how we can determine those values? So here there is a so here there is a 1 megahertz they given, and 1 mbps as a capacity of the each link, okay. If there is a 1 megahertz, there is a final multiplexed bandwidth, okay. There is a totally how many channels are there? 4 channels are there. Then we have to divide this 1 megahertz, okay, divided by 4, okay. 1 megahertz divided by 4, we will get the 250 kilohertz, 250 kilohertz for the each channel, okay. 250 kilohertz for the each channel after the modulation, okay. So this is a what problem, okay. They are given the total bit rate of the each connection, and also given the multiplexed bandwidth, okay. You need to determine the what is the bandwidth of the each connection after the modulation, okay. So this is the one problem, okay. And next they are given the analog hierarchy, okay. So in this analog hierarchy, what happened here, mainly we have to use for analog hierarchy to increase the efficiency of the channel. How we can increase the efficiency? By incrementing the low bandwidth to the high bandwidth, okay. By incrementing the bandwidth of the channel from the low to the high, okay. So by incrementing that, we can increase the efficiency of the channel. So in this diagram they have shown that how we can increase, okay. There is a totally 12 telephones are there, means there is a 12 Y channels, each Y channel has a 4 kilohertz, okay. Before that, this analog channel has a 4 groups are there here. One is the group, second one is a super group, super group, master group, and last one is the jumbo group, okay. So here there is a totally 12 telephones are there. 12 telephone means there is a 12 Y channels, okay. And each channel has a 4 kilohertz, okay. 4 kilohertz means there is a okay 4 kilohertz, okay. 4 kilohertz of each channel, totally 12 channels, 12 into 4. After doing the multiplexing, we will get the bandwidth of that multiplexed link will be the 40 kilohertz, okay. Because 12 Y channels into 4, that is a 48 kilohertz. That is a 48 kilohertz is the bandwidth of the that is a multiplexed channel, okay. So how many Y channel? There is a 40 kilohertz and 12 Y channels, okay. So that what we have to call as a group, okay. Again that group has a input to the frequency division, another frequency division multiplexing, okay. There is a 5 groups are present, okay. Totally 5 groups are present, okay. 5 groups are input to the next FDM, that is a frequency division multiplexing, okay. The each group has a 40 kilohertz, and each group has contains the 12 Y channels, okay. Each group has contains 12 Y channels, and each group has a 40 kilohertz. If you are multiplexed, okay, those 48 kilohertz groups which has each contains a 12 Y channels, okay, then we will get the supergroup. That supergroup has a bandwidth 240 kilohertz, okay. There is a totally 12 Y channels, so there is a each group has a 12 Y channels, totally 5 groups are there, then we will get the 60 Y channels. Again there is a super groups, there is a 10 super groups are there, same things, like a same, there is a 10 super groups are there, that will be input to the next FDM frequency division multiplexing, and each super group has a 240 kilohertz, and each super group has contains a 60 Y channels, okay. Though again we have to input to the FDM, okay, then we will get the master group, okay. So there is a 240, each super gas has a 240 kilohertz bandwidth, there is a totally 10, means 240 into 10 means we will get the 2400 kilohertz, means we can represent in the megahertz as a 2.40, okay. But here they have given the bandwidth as a 2.52. Why? Means we need to add the some guard bands, okay, to avoid the overlapping. So that's why they have added some additional bandwidth. That why they have increased 2.40 megahertz bandwidth into the 2.52, and there is a 600 Y channels, means 60 Y channels as a input. So there is a 10 groups are there, 60 into 10, the 600 Y channels, okay. Again those master group has a input to the next FDM, okay. So each has a 2.52 megahertz, and each has contains a 600 Y channel. So there is a totally 6 master groups are there, means there is a 2.5 into 6, okay. So we will get the around 15, okay, or 0.12 as a megahertz bandwidth, but there is a some guard bandwidth for the guard band we need to assign. So that's why they are mentioned as a 16.984 megahertz, okay. And there is a total Y channel will be the 3600 Y channel, because 600 Y channel, so there is a 6 master group, that is 600 into 6, that is a 3600 Y channel, that is a jumbo group, okay. So means in this way we need to increase the lower bandwidth into the higher bandwidth, okay. Once you increase the higher bandwidth, then you can efficiently use that bandwidth of the link, means many signals you can transmit at a time, okay. So that's what we have to call as a analog hierarchy, okay.